There we go. There we go. All right. So today is July 29th, 2024. Today I'm just going to talk to you about the script that I put together that I was running on Friday. And I think Friday it was up about $700, $800 or so. So I wanted to let it run today. And I was actually curious to let it run throughout the entirety of the day to give it a better test of what it actually, how well it's actually able to perform in both bullish markets and bearish markets. So the way that I'm looking at the markets these days, and I'm trying to be very specific, I'm looking at the time frame between 9:45 and 11 o'clock. So I really only want to run my scripts during that time frame, since that's what I'm studying and that's what I'm basing my scripts on. However, like I said, I wanted to let it run the entirety of the day. So as I got it set up today, and I'll kind of show you some of these things, but as I got it set up today, I missed a few of the trades earlier in the day, and then I once I got it started, by about 11 o'clock it was at about $950 or something like that. But I let it continue to run throughout the course of the day. It came down as low as, I don't know, it probably came back down as low as $100 or $50 or so, and then by the end of the day we got back up to $750 or so, something like that. So let me pull this up. Okay. I think we got a different mic here too. Okay. So here is how we finished out on the day. About 887 to the good side, and then the commissions were about 134. Again, you know, the simulation, and this is a simulation account, guys. Come on. But the account size was, you know, 100,000, 101 or something like that. But I was only trading one contract at a time, so one ES contract at a time. So this is where the trades were taken. I was on a 15-second time frame, and the trades were taken throughout the course of the day. All's in here. So this trade here, this was kind of a fluke. It really didn't get set up there. I think I was actually able to get my strategy set back up right around here, right around 10 o'clock or so. So I missed any of these potential trades that came on through this region, and you know, it did take those trades around 10:35 or so, and then even toward the top there, 10:47, we went a little bit lateral, took a few L's. You see this large span here? Unless there's some other criteria that has been met through this region, I really feel, are we in snap mode? I really feel like we need to not have a range that large. So, and again, my range, my risk and my take profit are based on what I call the range finder, which the range finder is pretty much just taking the distance from a high to a low. And since this most recent high to low was this long, it made the range, the risk, that long, because it's anticipating that the waves, the high lows of the market is this long. So yeah, I might need to adjust that, because that's a lot. That's a lot. All right, and then we keep going on throughout the day. make some profitable trades on the way up, and then even going sideways, we've got a few profitable trades, a few small losses, and then as the market moves back down, we start taking the L's again. So anyway, and I've looked before too. Do I want to just, or maybe I could put something in the script that says if you have a number of entries below the 200 EMA, then stop taking entries below the 200 EMA. I could do that. Because some of these entries below the 200 EMA are profitable, but there's a number of them that are not. And then even when you start getting sideways here, when you're around the 200 EMA, some of these are profitable. This one is above the 200 EMA. This one, the 200 EMA is this red line here. Okay, so this one is not profitable. It's below. This one was below it, but it was profitable. This one was below it, but it was profitable. This one was this one was below it and it was not profitable. But the amount of profit versus the size of the losses, right? You see that loss there? It's a small loss. This win is a larger win. This win is a larger win compared to this loss being a smaller loss. So even below the 200 EMA, we're still looking like profit until, though, I think it's until this 25 and the 15 period moving average get under the 200 EMA. Now it's trouble. Now we got long losses. Loss. That's a win. Loss. That's a win and a loss and a loss and a loss and a loss and a loss. Yeah, so it looks like really under the 200 EMA, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot a lot. So I think I need to make the adjustment to the script to only take these trades if we're over the 200 EMA. I'm going to set that up for tomorrow and we'll see what happens. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it set up two ways. So my strategy is called bid bust, right? So I'm going to leave it so that it shows up all the time. But if we're over the 200 EMA, then I'm going to make it a different color or a superimposed color. Now there's something also, this is just an easy nugget for you today about your strategies and your show me's and your indicators. Is you see how I have like this highlighted plus right here? This plus at the top is just a regular plus. This plus is a highlighted plus. I'm going to show you how to make that, and I'm going to give you some of the underlying structure behind it. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. And let's see. Come on, man. Alt W? Control W. No. I set up some new hotkeys, and they don't seem to be working. So, you know what? Maybe I have to have a actual. Really? No, that doesn't make sense. I was gonna say maybe I have to have an actual window open, and now I can use the hotkey. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. So this hotkey was to open a new chart analysis window, which I don't necessarily need one if I already have one open. I want to come here to a new workspace and then get my hotkey and open a new chart analysis window. So I guess I don't need a hotkey for that after all. But I do have a hotkey for import export. Okay, so that's good. All right, so let's go to the 1 minute time frame. We're gonna open up. We're just gonna open up a new indicator. We'll make it a show me. This will be YT highlighted. Highlighted plot. Okay. All right, so I'll get this out of here. So the highlighted plot, we're going to say, yeah, market kind of dropped here after 7 o'clock or so. Yeah, a couple other things that I learned today that I'm just going to kind of review with you. Again, I mean, some people get something out of this, some people won't, but this review is good for me because it helps solidify, and it's a way for me to review what I've learned at the end of the day so that I actually remember it. All right. So, we're just going to say, all right, let's plot these swing lows here. So we'll say if it's a swing low of about 4 or 5 bars on either side, then we're going to plot a swing low. So we're going to say value 1 is equal to what I call swing low. This is a function I created. We'll have something that's called LT, which is going to be equal to length. And we'll make that 4. So we're going to say that's LT. Value 1 is going to be strength of LT. So if value 1 is greater than 0, tell you what, we're going to do it this way. If that is greater than 0, then value 1 equals that. Okay. What you doing, man? Nope, wrong one. Saw it when I put it. YouTube, no, it doesn't show me. Highlighted plot. Okay. Hello daily. Don't need that one. Okay, so this is going to be a swing low of this amount of length. So we're saying that if the swing low of that amount of length is greater than 0, then value 1 is going to be equal to whatever that value is. And if value 1 is greater than 0, then we're going to plot of 1. We're going to plot of how many bars ago? LT bars ago. And what's going to be the level that we're going to plot? We're going to plot the low of LT bars ago. Okay, so now we get those lows plotted there for each of the lows. All right, so what I'm trying to show you is that if you, let's do this. We're going to have 2 plots. So we're going to have since we're doing 2 things, we need to have a begin and an end. And so that's going to be the first plot there. Now, if you want to make it like a highlight or something like that, I call it a highlight. You want to make that same plot, right? So we're just going to take this, copy it, that same plot, but it's got to be a different plot number because you can't have the same plot name. If I have 2 plot 1, ooh. Well, I can't have 2 plot 1s being different values. I'll tell you that. I am shocked here now. What? What? Maybe if it's outside of, that's weird. That's weird to me. Because any other time that you have plot 1, you know what? Maybe you can. Maybe you can. So what you can't do is have them named something different. So if I name this one red, and then we're going to make this one red, you can't have them named two different things. So I'm about to learn something here right now. And that's why I enjoy doing this YouTube stuff, because some of the times I'll get something out of it. Some of the times, well, I always learn something from coding. But anyway, all right, so if this one's named red and this one is named blue, it will not let you do that, right? See, it's plot has been defined using a different name. But if I named it also red, then I guess that will be okay. I did not know that. Now, what if we change the number of spaces? Yep, it's been defined using a different name because that space does count as a character. Okay, take out the space, so red, red. Okay, all right, so I learned something new. So you can essentially change the plot. As long as it's named the same thing, you can change the plot. That's interesting. Which makes it even more important that you name your plots. A lot of times, like you say, like you saw that I did, I just came through and I put plot 1 and I put low of LT of bar, bars ago, and then I went ahead and closed it out and then verified it. If you don't put the name, then you might come down here later and put plot 1 again, and then you don't realize that you are then missing your plot from up top. So if you put a plot name, then when you come down here and you put a plot name and it happens to be different, it'll let you know that there's an error betwixt the two. So that being said, you'll save yourself a headache wondering where your other plot is. So yeah, put your plot names. Put your plot names. Okay. But okay, so now this is the next question. So what? Let's try this, because what I want to do is when I do plot 2, this is plot 2. So one of them is plot 1, one of them is plot 2. We're going to make them both lows. Okay, so one of them is red, one of them is blue. However, they are at the same location. And since they're at the same location, you cannot see both of them, right? So how do you know that you have both plots there? Well, this is what we're going to do. For the first position, you're putting your value, your price level. The second one is the plot name. The third one is the plot color. The fourth one is default. I think it's reserved for future use. And then the fifth one, or the following one, is for size. So if we put 4 there, well, then it must already be size 4. Now we'll put 5. Okay, now we put 3. Okay. Now 3, now 5. 6. Okay, I'm about to learn something else today. Because I did this before, and to me, from the way that I put it together, it did not matter if you put plot 1 or plot 2. It was always going to show both plots. If one of them is smaller than the other, it's always going to show both plots. It will always make the smaller one inside the bigger one. But now it looks like one is superimposed. It looks like plot 1, with it being larger, it looks like since plot 1 is first, it plots it at the most superficial, and then plot 2 is beneath, and then beneath, and then beneath. I imagine it is something like that. So let's see. We're going to put plot 1 after. Yeah. So again, now I'm trying to wrap my head around it again, right? Because plot 1, wait a minute, I didn't verify it. Okay, yeah. So plot 1 now is coming after plot 2. Plot 1 is bigger, but now it's engulfing it. So it doesn't matter if plot 1 is plotted after or before, because it's larger, it's engulfing it. Let's do default. Make that 3. Okay, still didn't show up. Make that 4. Make that 2. Now the blue is showing up. There's got to be a rhyme or reason. Now if we make the blue 6, now the red is inside of it. Four. I got a sneaky suspicion this has more to do with colors than it does plots. Because blue of 6 is showing up. Now this time, blue of 6, being the larger size, is not completely masking plot 1. Whereas when we switched it up, plot 1 would completely mask. Right. So you see what happened? Okay, so we put blue of 6 after, and blue is showing up behind red. But when we put red of 6, red always, didn't matter if it was first plot or second plot, red always showed up over top of blue. So I'm thinking certain colors, or is it the plot number? Maybe it's the plot number, the position. Yeah, okay. So maybe it doesn't matter if, it doesn't matter where on the, where in the body, where in the script you put plot. You could start off with plot 100. But after plot 100, if you put plot 1 is always going to be more superficial. I could see that. I could see them doing that for the sake of simplicity. All right, so if we said this was plot 1, I think it goes as high as 99. So if we said this was plot 99 of blue, then plot 99 is always going to be under plot 98. It's going to be under plot 97. It's still going to be under plot 96. Plot 4 is always going to be under plot 2. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so if we made this, so if we're going to verify that. All right, so let's make this plot 10. Okay, and so 10 is blue. So we're going to say that's underneath plot 1, which makes sense. Now we're going to make plot 1, we're going to make this red one, we're going to make it 11, which would technically be under 10. Yep, that was it. That did it. All right, so again, I learned something new. I learned something new today. That when you're talking about layers or layering, that the plots actually do have a layer pattern to them, and it's based on the numbers. So again, like I said, I spent some time trying to figure out how to get this bit of shadowing here. So then it's obvious, based on what we just came up with, it's obvious that this white plot back here is a higher number plot than the green plot. So the white plot might be a plot 5, and the green plot might be a plot 4. Okay. All right, so let's go back here, and we're gonna allow this to be a cross style. Style cross. cross. Okay, so now we got the blue cross at the back. It's number 10. So we'll just make this 1 and make this 2. Okay, and so the blue will be the, let's make white in the background, and we'll make blue in the front. Okay, and then so why did it change it? It was a cross. It was just a cross. And now white doesn't show up much on this white background here. On my other chart, it's more of a gray background. Did I not hit OK? Okay. All right, so let's do a blue cross with a, or a yellow cross with a blue background. There we go. All right, now we can make this like size 2 and make this size 3 or size 4. There we go. Okay. All right. So this way, like I said, if you come over here and then all of a sudden one day you're saying, all right, well, if SH of LT is greater than 0, then plot 4 is going to be, we're going to plot 4 on LT bars ago, and it's going to be the high of LT. Okay, so you get this up here. This is just saying that you've got a swing high of 4 bar strength on either side, and that's right there. And so you're plotting that bar, you're plotting that 4th bar. All right, so plot 4, that's going to be plot 4. So we say do begin. That's plot 4 is going to be that funky green, and then we can also reproduce that, copy, paste that, make that 5. That'll also be the same thing, end. Okay, and then, but of course we need to, let's see, that color doesn't matter. Let's see, default, and then we'll make that 3. And then we'll have the name, color, default, and then 5. That work? Oh, I do have to put something here. Gotta at least put the empty parentheses. And it wants something there too. So, color. I didn't think you had to put a color unless you just wanted to. Alright, so that's the plot, that's the name. The color is going to be green. We'll make the first one white. Default 3, and then that. And then we'll make this one green. Default 5. Okay, so we got that. I'll click that style. That'll be a, this will be a cross, this will be a cross. Alright, so now we have that cross up there. Okay, so that's what your chart will look like. You know what? I'm sure somebody's interested in this script here. I can put it together really quick now, but years ago, or even months ago, I couldn't, so I don't know. I have some of these set up as functions, so maybe I need to take the functions out of it and make it a little bit easier for you guys to use, and then I can just put this in the library for you. Okay. So let me see if I can make this so I can put it in the library. We'll do swing high of LT, swing low, price, strength, length. So the instance, price, strength, LT, length, LT plus 1. That's for that. And then we'll come over here and we'll do value 2. We'll call it swing high, and then that'll be the instance, price, strength length LT plus 1. All right, so this will be value 2. Okay, value 1, and value 1 is equal to if I don't think I need that anymore. All right. Okay. Yeah. So I will add this to the. Let's. Got my shortcut key now, so I can quickly import export. We're going to export this, and then put this in the library for you to download. I'm gonna call it YouTube highlighted swing high and lows. Okay, so this will be in the, let's see, library, new posts. All right, if I don't do it now, it won't get done. YouTube highlighted swings and lows. I realize I misspelled it. That's okay. All right. I'm gonna do a screenshot of this, add it to the post, and there it is. Okay, so if you want that, that's in the file library. All right, is there anything else I want to do tonight? Let's see. I know I learned a few other things today. Okay, so one other thing I learned today is that like when you're on the tick chart, the tick has its own, the tick bar, since this is a one tick bar chart, the open is equal to the high is equal to the low is equal to the close. All right, and we can confirm that by, I've got this here. All right, so we're going to print this to, like I said, I'm still learning a bunch of stuff. I'm still learning every single day. All right, so here. So we added this. If last bar on the chart, then we're going to clear the print log, and then if the open is not equal to the high, open is not equal to the low, or the open is not equal to the close, then we're going to print. Or then we're going to print this. The open, the high, the low, the close. However, on this chart, the open is equal to the high, equal to the low, equal to the close. So let's just print. I'm going to get rid of this. We're just going to print. See, now it's not using the if statement. Now it's only for every tick or every bar, it's printing the open, the high, the low, the close. If you look at either one of these, you see that they're all the same. Open, high, low, close. Let's see if we get a change. Okay, so this one, the tick change, open, high, low, close. All of the bars, every single bar is just a tick. So the open is equal to high is equal to low is equal to close. I had the faulty assumption of thinking that even in a 5-second bar, even though you have multiple ticks within the bar, I assumed that each one of those ticks is its own, will have its own open, high, low, close. Every time it ticks, open, high, low, close. Every time it ticks, which I guess really now doesn't even make sense, because it's either going to start or stop. It starts from where it started from, and then it stops where it stops at. So the best I could come up with is if you're looking at like a 15-second bar or something like that, and you have a long bar here. Let's look at a 5-minute bar. Say you have a long bar here, and you want to know where each tick is within the bar. If you want to, like, as soon as that moves, boom, 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 boom. You can't query the open, high, low. The only thing that you can query at that point will be the close. Because at the point that that tick stopped, that's the current close, right? The bar opened over here. So the open it's holding on to the open. All right. Wherever it went up to its highest, it's going to hold that position too. But where you currently are in the bar on your tick, that's your current close. So if you want to reference where the tick is in space within the bar, then you need to reference the close. So that's what I learned today. What else? I learned a lot of stuff today. I really did. I believe that's probably enough. I mean, I got to spend a little bit of time going back over the chart and seeing. Like I said, I think for my adjustment of bid bust, I'm going to adjust it so that. Let's see if I can do that. See if I can do that now. Oh, all right. So I did spend quite a bit of time today trying to figure out my spread issue. Okay, so important here, guys. Important, guys, gals, everybody. All right. And see, this is algorithmic trading. Taking all these trades, letting your computer do the work. There's a lot of trades. I wonder why it says -3. Is that only because I'm zoomed out? Because at no point in time did it take 3 trades at a time. Yeah, something's getting screwy. Because it never took 3 trades at a time. It only took 1 trade at a time. You see market in 1. I don't know why it's saying that. I'm going to have to, I guess on a reset, it should fix it. However, I see that I also managed to get my bid and ask data all screwed up too. But like I said, one of the things I want to show you here about the spread is when the chart moves up, and I think I'll check the 1 minute time frame because I let that run also. But you see when the spread opens up here, like when the spread opened up to around 1 or 4 ticks or 1 point, when it opened, you know, the price kept moving up, the market kept moving up, and then when that spread opened up, and that spread opened way up, it was the point at which it stopped and at least moved sideways for a while. So like I said, the spread is very important. So that's the spread of 1 there. It shows you where that happened. And then these other areas where the spread moves, you see we got up to 1, and then we moved sideways. We consolidated for a little bit, distributed some, and then as we dropped down and we came into this territory here. Where is that? That's right here, where the spread opened up once again. The spread opened up on this bottom bar. And that's the time where you say, you know what? Let me take another long, right? Because that's support, or that's buyers trying to come back in and retest the high. So yeah. Spreads are definitely important. All right, so I did save it for the 1 minute time frame. 1 minute time frame here, and this is what the spreads look like on the day for the 1 minute time frame. Okay, so I think here, this automatic thingy here, you see this one here, this 1 right here, that 1, that value of 1, this is the point that we were talking about on the 15-second time frame, where we had that bullish run, it ran, and then it got up to here, spread of 1, and then it paused. It dropped, did a retest, a little bit of a consolidation, like it was trying to accumulate to have another run, had another higher high, and then it ultimately failed. And what happened here, as we're coming down, now we get this high spread here of 1.7. And what happened on this bar? That was the halt of the bearish run, right? I mean, can you see that? I mean, am I the only one who can see that? It looks like it's pretty obvious, but come on, get out of the way. Looks like it's pretty obvious, but take that as your signal, or your idea to change your thesis that is going to continue to drop. Right there. Okay, and there are other indications on the chart, like I said, that you can't see with a bare naked chart. With the bare naked chart, you can't see a lot of this stuff going on. So but I know everybody doesn't want to look at a bunch of stuff like I do. Now, where was this at? Because what were we looking at over here on the 1 minute time frame? Okay. All right, this was the retest at the end of the day, right? So not only did it come here, well, I mean, but that's pretty significant though. Look how high this spread is. This spread is also 1.75. This one was 1.75, and this one was 1.75. All right, but this is moving up though. Okay, but this one being 1.75, it touched it, retested here. I mean, but it's strong enough. 1.75 is strong enough that it also was served as demand here, right? That's pretty significant. And then once it cut through there, she was a dropping. Okay, and like I said, this high number 1.75 here, you didn't see anything that high, throughout the rest of this day. All right. to straighten out my, give me a moment while I straighten out my, because everything, so that's 3. 1, 2, 3. Spread interbar. This should, yeah, this should be 3. This one should be 4. And what is this? Is this 5 or 6? 5. Oh Lord, 6. Cumulative. I don't know how I did that because I made that 3. And now that's 4. And now that's 5. Okay. Oh. It, yeah, okay, that's okay. But this just needs to be 1 higher. Wait a minute, spread. Yeah, I want the spread to be next one up. There we go. Okay, all right, so got everything situated. Other stuff that I learned today, I think those were the main things. So let me see if I can modify this bid bus. I should be able to. This is a $1 million script right here. Okay, I'm not going to give you my $1 million script. Well, it's a $250,000 script. So we're going to make everything that's under the 200 EMA, we're going to superimpose a black dot over top of it based on using what I just showed you, how to superimpose. And if you didn't catch it, go back to the beginning. All right, go back to the beginning. All right, let's see. 2s.add as type double plot 3 historic bars blue. Okay, and if this number is greater than, no, it's less than SA200, then plot, do you already have plot 4? I hope not. We're going to try it anyway. We're going to say plot 4. It's going to be that same number, and then we're going to say historical highlight, and we're going to make it black. And since that's coming after, it should be below it, so we just need to make it a little bit bigger. So we'll make it double, and then we'll make it 4. Now once I rerun this, default, sorry. All right, you see where these dots got bigger than these dots? I think that's our. See, these dots are bigger than. Yeah, let's make it. Oh, we didn't. Yeah, we did. Well, it should be black, not blue. Do I have this on here multiple times? Bid bust. Where you at? Bid bust right here. All right, so we're gonna turn it off for a second. Okay, with it turned off, what are these guys? I think that's this one here. I did make something called ES071924, and that one kind of operates similar to bid bust, but it's not the same. So we're gonna turn that off. We don't want to get confused. You know what? I think that might have been confusing me earlier in the day because I was getting, I was getting a few indications, and I said, how come my strategy isn't working? I bet that was it. Let me I want to check something here. All right, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna add bid bust. Turn that on. Okay. So at this point, all these are historical bars. So if the string number is less than SA200 and plot 4 of that number, historical highlight is white. All right, let's make sure that historical highlight of being white is not something random like a line or something. No, it is a point. And that's historical bars is here. So right here would be your normal plot, your blue, your normal plot. You see I didn't put a name, which I got to go back and do. Clearly, do it right, Eric. All right, and then here is your historical bars. And then this one is the historical highlight, which I'm trying to get the plot a different color, a darker color or something. Okay, no, I need the historical bars to be smaller and plot a small, okay. Because again, we said that the lower the plot number, the more superficial it is, right? So that's gonna be blue, and then it's gonna be default, and then it's gonna be size 2, and then the white is gonna be, white default. That'll be size 2, white default size 4. Okay. There we go. Okay. Man, I tell you, I get excited about the simplest thing. Yes, I do. Yeah. But I tell you, this is a $250,000 strategy. Who wouldn't get excited about this? But I've got to put together some other strategies too. Okay, all right. So these are the ones that, like I said, shouldn't be as these. I don't like these. These aren't as effective, right? The ones that'll be solid blue, those are the ones that I'm really interested in, right? So these solid blue ones, well, you see here you got solid blue, solid blue. Now where are the solid blue ones at? That is it. It's just small. Okay, I need it to be larger than that because I can't see the historical ones. Okay, so the historical ones, the blue needs to be the larger size. And again, it's got to be the lower plot. The white would actually have to be the smaller plot. Yeah, I'm gonna just switch these plots 4 to 3. Okay, and the blue will be the larger. Yep, and then the white will be the smaller. You see that? That's my white that popped up. It's way too small. So that one needs to be the 3. I don't want it to be white though. I want to leave it as blue. So I'm gonna have to get creative here with my numbering. So I'm gonna leave it as blue. That needs to be a little bit larger. Size 4. Okay, so 4 showed up. All right, and then so if the plot is under the 200 EMA, then we'll make it, we'll put a white highlight on it. So the white would need to be the lesser, yes, lesser, but then that'll be lesser size, so 2. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, see how this one is blue? This one is over. This red line is 200 EMA, so this the open and the close are over the 200 EMA, so this is a blue indicator. But this one over here, this one is under the 200 EMA, and so this one is a blue indicator with a white dot in the middle. Okay, so that's what we programmed for it. So that's what it's doing. I'm over here on my program changing all kinds of things. Okay, so we got the white dot, and so again, the white dot is the one that we don't necessarily want as much as the solid blue dot. Okay, right, so you see these over here. These are under the 200 EMA, so even though these are given indications for the bid bust, we don't necessarily want to put all of our eggs in this basket because we're under the 200 EMA, and we probably need to just make this script all over and rewrite it so that we have some bearish measures. All right, and now these here, I only set it up for the historical bars, so I didn't set it up for the live bars. Let me see, split that. It'd be bar status equals 2. Then we're going to begin. If the bar marker is under that, plot 2 low of blue. So we're going to make that size. We want the white to be in the front, so we'll make this the white. We'll make that 2, and then we'll say if low is greater than SA 200, say the open is less than SA 200, then we're going to plot, we've already used plot 1, 2, I think we used 3, 4, so we're going to say plot 5, we're going to do the low, and and then it'll be blue. So white will be in the front, blue will be in the back. We'll make that size 4. Default for that. Okay. All right. And then white 2. Oh, you don't have to put a default? Okay. Cool. Okay. All right, so the open is, all right. So this is what I have here. Okay, so again, so I already had this here, plot 2 being, I think I had this as blue before, but since this is the lower plot and we want it to be in front or superficial, we went ahead and made this the white one, and we made it a smaller size so it doesn't completely mask plot 5, which if the open is under the 200 period EMA or SMA, then we're gonna also plot a larger blue dot beneath it. And I don't know, you may see this in the next couple minutes or not. I don't know. Let's see. Anything else for me to go over tonight? TikTok bar. Tick overtime. Where's stream split? I not having time bar split. It's off. Time bar split. I think I better take that up because I redid this one today, and I named it Stream Time Bar Split. And it's set to be false. Let's make sure I don't have it turned on anywhere else. Some of the times if you use anything with Stream Reader or Stream Writer and you have it open on another chart and you can't actually access it, if you do try to access it, then it'll give you a error or a continuation loop. So you may want to go through and just kind of right click on your chart, go to settings, go to EasyLanguage Utilization Monitor, go to chart analysis, analysis technique, and then look for your script based on sorting. And so we're going to go to Stream Time Bar Split. Stream Time Bar Split. You see it's open here under Fire Perch, but it's also open on another desktop. So let me open that desktop and then turn that one off. Yep, it's operating in the background over here. Okay, so it's been running all day. It's been saving all this data to the text file. So now I should be able to come back over here, and then when I open it, well, it's already on the chart. So now when I tell it to actually stream, true, it should pull the data. Yep, it just pulled the data that quick. I mean, that's quick. Y'all see how quick that is? That's crazy. I'm telling you, man, I don't know if it's the computer or what, but like this kind of stuff excites me because all I have to do is figure out the programming to make the computer do what I want it to do, and it'll do it like that, no questions asked, and it's fast. So I'm telling you, I'm going to exploit this. I want to take as much advantage of this as I can, and before they start taking computers away from us, before they start saying no, you can't program. And I mean, AI has its place. AI, you know, it has its place, but it ain't. It's. I've asked ChatGPT, and I'm not saying that it won't get there. I hope it doesn't, because if it does, then nobody will have a job ever, because you'll literally be able, it'll be smart enough without the errors to be able to come up with absolutely anything to replace everything. Facts, right? So I have a hard time believing it'll be there. But anyway, I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, put me together a script in EasyLanguage to do such and such and such. And it failed miserably. Now, for somebody who maybe doesn't have a lot of programming experience, it may have looked really good, but no, it was terrible. So, yeah. All right. So anyway, this is the time bar split. So, and again, I think I said in the Discord that I would put in the video kind of what the components of the strategy is that was that profitable today. So, and again, it's basically when the price gets under the 9-period moving average. So we're on the 15-second time frame. When the price gets under the 9-period moving average, we're looking at the buyer sentiment, right? So the buyer sentiment is the blue line, the seller sentiment is the red line. You got to pull that up from your market depth provider, right? But you can find out if there are more buyers than sellers. If there are more buyers than sellers, then more likely you are coming into an area where there's going to be some buying potential. So I'm also looking at a higher amount of ticks, right? So I'm looking at the number of ticks within the bar. This is the ticks. This is the ticks. If the number of ticks on the bar is greater than the number of ticks on the bar before it, then that's another reason for a potential entry. And that just simply means that, as the market is moving toward a inflection point, toward an area of rejection or aggression or resistance. Resistance going up, resistance going down. Resistance is a restriction to flow. That's all it is. Resistance, supply, demand, no. Resistance. So if it's moving toward an area of resistance, you're going to see more ticks. You're going to see more transactions. You'll typically see more volume coming in as well. So we're looking for more. We're looking for more. So those things combined with one other little caveat is a timer, is a stopwatch on the bar, right? So this time bar split, pretty much taking the bar, split in half, and saying, all right, well, how many transactions happen above the top half of the bar? How many transactions happen below the bottom half of the bar? How much time cumulative was in the bottom? How much time cumulative was in the top? Because we could argue that if there's more time in the top bar, less time in the bottom bar, then, and depending on the shape and the direction of the bar, that we kind of hesitated up here, we shot through here. Well, when you shoot through something, you tend to make losers. You tend to make losers down here, right? So getting on the right side of that equation also helps to get you in a position where you can I'd say scalp, but that's just a part of. Now the other thing, I made this strategy last week, and like I said, by as far as I'm concerned, it's pretty darn good. It's not as good as I want it to be, so we'll see how the modifications that I make tomorrow morning, we'll see how they work tomorrow. But the end of last week, I was able to correct my spread strategy. And again, we looked at the spread, and we could see on the 1 minute time frame, we can see how when the spread changes, that's when you have a change in the overall market. So one other thing I want to pull up before I go, and it might take a little bit of time for this chart to load up, but I'll be incorporating something about the spread into my strategy, whether or not it's in regards to when it's time to start pulling out of the chart and not taking as many trades, or whether it's time to double my risk to reward. Something about the spread has got to go into my strategy, point blank. So let's see. I thought I had renamed it ESU. And I don't see it. Unless it's still under ESM 618. Let's sort by date. Oh. It's already sorted by dates there, Skippy. Well, I know one way that I can pull it up. And I'm going to realize that I named it the wrong thing. So we'll go to desktop and then we'll open desktop, and it is Eagle Vision. I don't know, sentimental or whatever, but when my dad passed, like the next day, I'd never really seen hawks much. And you know, that like that next day, there was this hawk that just like flew really close to me. I mean, like crazy close. So you know, I incorporate that into my trading, into my mantras and everything. Eagle Vision, fire eyes, something perch. So that's the story behind that. All right, I think I'm gonna get some errors when this one loads up, because this one is typically loads up after, well, that loads up after this chart here. So give it a second to load up, and then we'll just glance really quick at the 1 minute time frame and get off here. Dang. Just gotta load the account, gotta load the chart. While that's loading up, one other thing that I considered doing was, like I said, making a script that has the highs, right? And so when we have two or three consecutive highs where the values are so close within the linear value of the trend line, and then that gets broken, you know, then start looking for, or then turn on your strategy, your algo, to start taking trades. But the question is, when do you turn it off, right? Because like I said, the strategy was winning today, but it's when it started coming in here, it started giving a lot of money back. Now it got the money back through here and through here. So if I can just not let it take trades through some of the downward motion, it'd be, you know, super profitable. Because even going through all this, it was still up, you know, $800 on one contract. All right, so this is a 1 minute time frame, and I had it stream writing from the other desktop, so it should have pulled the data. So if we go here, see 1 minute time frame, I didn't pull anything. Don't want the time bar split on here. And I'll tell you one thing, and you know, as you're writing your strategies and as you're looking at just overall technical analysis and that kind of thing, just be sure that you are making a difference or keeping some type of delineation between what happens like on one time frame versus the other, because what happens on the 15-second time frame, usually it'll show up in the 1 minute time frame, but it won't be the same value. So what I have stream writing here for the 15-second time frame, it's a whole nother file from what's being written to, you know, from the 1 minute time frame. So, but the 1 minute time frame, what is this guy? like I've got everything turned off. And see if I turn some of this stuff on, will it pull right up from the stream text files, or will it give me a bunch of errors? Got a bunch of errors. Well, that's because it's running on the other chart. So let me turn it off on FirePerch. Like I said, I'm about to shut it down anyway. So we're going to turn off master token on the FirePerch here, and then we'll go over back to Eagle Vision, and we'll turn these back on. Status. Let's turn everything on. Okay. Boom! God, boy, you got to love programming. I mean, you gotta love programming. I did not even have this desktop loaded up today at all. But on, like I said, on FirePerch, on the 1 minute time frame, I had the master token turned on, so it's saving all this data. It's saving all that data so that when I do decide to come over here on the 1 minute time frame and pull it up, it's just all right there. So the 1 minute time frame, here we go. All right, so, but again, like I told you from last week, I was able to fix the spread. So I don't think that this is the updated spread. No, because I was using arrays and everything. Like on this one back, 4 or 5 months ago, and I mean it's a pretty complex script, right? But I was using arrays and all kinds of things trying to come up with the program, and all that wasn't necessary. So, and again, if you want to see that script, if you want me to work through that script with you, I'm more than happy to do it. But this script here for the spread needs to be updated. And actually, you can see though, I mean, it's not completely off base, but it's just not great, right? But you see here, you see this value here of 0.27. If you look over to the right-hand side of the screen, it looks like the highest value of the spread jumped up to 0.27 right in here. And you say, oh, okay, well, we're meeting some resistance here. And then also, if you look at these lines here, these are resistance lines from, prior days, right? So this gives you some indication we're coming to a potential area. Plus, we get this higher spread here. So you say, oh, okay, well, it's time to go, right? But like I said, these aren't actually as high as the spread got. Let's see, this time frame here in the 11:30 time frame. If we go back to Fire Eyes 11:30 time frame, this spread here is correct. So instead of 0.27, it came up to about 0.75. But it's this cluster here. So you got that cluster right here. And, again, does that look as good as it did on the other screen? Maybe not. But this is what I was trying to program for. So, yeah. So again, just going back, and there's a certain amount of information that you can see on the 15-second time frame, and it's really jumbled. But then when you look at the 1 minute time frame, it looks a little bit more spread out. You can kind of see what's going on. If you look at these, here is the largest ask or bid, right? So we're looking to see here if we have a really large order size, right? So what's the largest order size? And you see here, they're all kind of stay within a certain range here. But you see here, we did get a larger order size kind of out of the bounds. Also, in this same general territory. Okay, so letting you know that something's going on. And this is another something that I typically will see as well. I'll see, and I mentioned this earlier in the stream, that you'll see these higher number of bids. The bid sentiment on the bid side, it gets higher than the red line, than the ask, right? And you see it kind of peaked here, it got higher here. It got higher here, yes it did. It made you think that this was the turnaround point. It was, I mean, but it kind of was, but it just wicked down and then came back up. So, and that's one of the things that I have to appreciate, is that even when you have some good ideas coming in, don't go full throttle. I mean, have some room for risk. Because what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll go ahead and get in right here. And then as it starts moving up, I'm like, oh yeah, I got it. And then I'll put on as many contracts as I can. And just as soon as it flushes before the real move, I'm complete. I've blown my available risks for the day, right? So don't get in so tight, for sure. All right, but then also, and I think I mentioned it earlier, you see here, the ticks. That is also in my script. The ticks is important. And you see how, well, I don't know why it's not showing up here. It's not showing up. But the ticks grew higher right here. If you look here, that didn't really grow higher. This grew outside of this overall. Shoot, I don't know why this thing isn't showing up. But this definitely grew higher. Okay, all right, so I think that's it. Oh, we got somebody trading for a few months, still learning. Hey man, I'm learning too. I'm learning too. And I tell you, if you look at the majority of the trading community, it's a large combination of people who are in all walks of life, who have all different levels of understanding about the market, economics, just life in general. But it's just going to be about perseverance. It's just going to be about perseverance. And one of the things that I've learned is a lot of it is about taking your time. My buddies now, we talk about it all the time. We talk about being up a certain amount of money, or being, in the positive of your P&L, and then just letting it go. Just looking for a little bit more. Just letting it go. So these bars are designed to make you want to jump into a position, right? As soon as you see this bullish bar, you want to jump into a position. As soon as you see this bullish bar, they're designed to make you jump into a position. And one of the things that I found myself doing, and I kind of decided I'm gonna stop doing it, is, and that's why my scripts now are based on being below the 9-period moving average. It doesn't matter if the market is moving up or moving down. If I'm going long, I need to be looking for a buy under the 9-period moving average. If I'm going short, I need to be over the 9-period moving average. That just gives me a little bit, that takes a significant amount of risk off the table, right? But it's scary to buy when the market is dropping, because you're like, it's just going to keep dropping. Well, yes, it can, but more likely, if you're over the 9-period moving average, if you're buying when everything is really, really bullish, then you're more likely just going to end up, you're going to be the liquidity. You're going to be the liquidity. You're going to end up buying, and then you're immediately going to sell when the market starts moving against you. And then everybody who bought down lower, they're not going to be in a position to, they're not losing out. So they're going to hold their position, and then the market's going to continue to move up. And then you're going to try to buy again. It's going to dip down. You're going to get out. It's going to go up. I promise you, I've done it 1,000 times, all the time. And so that's why I say now my strategy is really based on being being like the smart money, if you will. And then that's the other thing, like I said, about running the script, is even when it started kind of going against me, if you will, I just let it run. I just let it keep running. And by the end of it, it came out of it. It's about consistency. It's about consistency and edge. And once you find the edge, if you find your edge, when you find your edge, if you're not consistent, then it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. You will give your edge up. The edge is consistency. I would argue that. So, all right. Well, like I said, I don't know what you are doing in lieu of trading, but I'm bigger with programming than I am trading. I'm a physical therapist by profession, so I'm designed to analyze. And my wife and my daughter would tell you that I do a lot of analysis, more than they would like. And so I'm good at, yeah, right. So I'm good at analysis. And so I'm just going to let the scripts do the work. I'll analyze, but I'm bad at pushing the button. Do you need to watch the 9 EMA for that? Yeah, so and then there's, so you got the 9 EMA, you got several different versions of the 9 EMA, or the 9 moving average. You put the 9 moving average. You have the 9 EMA, which is the exponential moving average, EMA, which is typically a little bit more weighted to the current bar, right? So if you have these bars over here, then the 9 EMA is going to give a little bit more weight. So it's supposed to be looking at all 9 of these bars, but it's going to give a little bit more weight to the most current bars. But the SMA, the simple moving average, is going to weight them equally. So the exponential moving average is going to, it's going to have more flex to it. Whereas the simple moving average is going to be more kind of steady. But again, there's a lot of different strategies, and maybe if you go ahead and subscribe and put a notification on, what I'll do is I'll come on tomorrow and I will put together a strategy from start to finish about the 9 EMA. So if you have an idea about it, we can kind of parse that out. But like if you buy when the market crosses over the 9 EMA and you sell when it crosses under the 9 EMA, I mean, you can do something like that. I'd say that's pretty simple. I've heard lots of things. I've heard keep it simple. And a lot of people who keep it simple can't keep it afloat. So I don't know what the answer is, but I don't think it's as simple as just buying under the 9 EMA. Like I said, you need to combine it with some other stuff. When you're under the 9 EMA, you need to combine it with some higher ticks. You need to combine it with a higher volume amount. You need to combine it with higher interest, whether it be ask or bid. You need to combine it with something else. And when I say combine it with something else, if you read some books, if you look at some resources, you'll see they talk about confluence. So confluence is just C-O-N, having multiple, right? So having that coalescence, having multiple things that are telling you the same thing, and then that's when you take it. But just having one measure, I won't say it won't work, because I won't ever take anything from anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, you figure out what works for you, but then not only do you have to look at the moving average, whether it be exponential or the simple moving average, but then you need to, like I said, you need to have a measure of consistency. You need to stick with it. And when I say stick with it, I mean write down what happens, write down what you did. And then you need to, like I said, with that'll help you understand what your risk to reward is, because it's saying nothing to buy under the 9-period moving average, because I've done it all the time. The problem is when you buy under the 9 moving average, and it moves up this high and you don't take that profit, well, when you bought under this non-moving average with this low volume, with this amount of illiquidity, you're buying in an area of consolidation or distribution. You're buying in a sideways rotation area. So it's not designed to give you 40 ticks. You're not in that place. But you have to know that, though. You have to know that just because you're buying under the non-moving average doesn't mean that you're going to get that much movement. And like I said, I'm guilty of it. A lot of people are guilty of it. Getting into a position, and just because you're here and it does move some, you thinking that it's supposed to move all the way. No, it's only was going to move here. So either you just take that, or you find a different strategy that is designed to have a larger move. Like some of the times, a simple strategy for you is just looking at descending trend lines, like a descending channel, channels. When you have this these swing highs here and you have a break, oftentimes you'll have a larger move over top of a break of multiple rejections. Where is my drawn mode? So when you have multiple rejections and then it finally breaks over top of that, not only are you breaking over top of 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections, but you're also breaking over top of these sellers. All these sellers were in at multiple bases along the way, and now they're all getting a little bit nervous. So it just runs up through the whole thing. So that's something that you might look at too, just for simplicity. But again, that's not something that you get into the position and expect to get in, get out. No, that's a position that you get in, have your stop loss, down here, and then you just wait it out. You just ride it. You just wait it out. And I think that's one of the things I've heard in the past too, is start off with swing trading and then move to day trading. I don't know if you're interested in day trading or swing trading. You just say trading. But yeah, you've got, man, the world is your oyster for sure. All right, you got any other questions right now? Or we're gonna shut it down and then we'll pick it up tomorrow. All right, well, I appreciate you for hanging out with me. We'll catch you tomorrow. We're going to make some money in one way or another. All right, I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace.